He ain't never called.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It is your boy Elliot King Ness, whatever you want to call me. Here, Royal Manhood TV, Season 2, Episode 2. We got a big topic going on tonight. It is Black. Is education still relevant for them? We're going to talk about that momentarily. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host. We got Miss. Wait, hold on. Something popped up on my screen. Now I can't do anything. Here we go. We got Miss Adriana Smith right here,
Hi.
Queen Audrey as they call him. We got
What's up, y'all?
King King John Harper on
Oh,
the
where
line
John at?
right here. He is back making his season 2 episode or his season 2 appearance.
Live and in effect, baby.
And we have Corey Mercer. Corey Mercer, he is making his second episode of TV. He was supposed to be on the first season, but he is now on the second season, so we're glad to have him. And I don't know where this fool is.
We gon' pray,
Well, I'm
cause
gonna show
Lord,
his little icon. There's Ashton. Ashton is supposed to be on. It shows that he is on. We'll get to him momentarily. Something with Cisco over there at A&T ain't working right. So that is
y'all
my
gonna leave
co-host.
Ashton
And so
alone.
since my
Well, that's what happens when you go to A&T.
See, how y'all gonna make it seem like
You
that?
know, you know they
he's
still trying to
wrong,
recruit from their butt whooping.
Ashton, you see, I'm trying to take up for you, Ashton. I really am.
Don't do that.
You know how like the mama take up for that one child, like y'all leave my baby alone now.
Well, Miss
Yeah.
Smith, I'm gonna ask you
So
to
I don't
choose
know.
this day. Choose with the folks that got internet, or roll with them folks that don't.
I mean, listen, my internet working fine. I ain't got no problem. I'm just
There you go.
saying,
You made your choice.
the strong
Ashton,
got
I
to
don't know
bear
what's
that
up with you,
burden
bro.
for the weak.
Ashton, you're probably gonna catch this playback. There you go, trying to pop in again. I don't know what's
he gonna
going
come
on,
back.
bro.
He
I'm
gonna
gonna
come
have
back.
to. He gonna come in and out, so I'm probably gonna send him another one. But so last episode was a couple weeks ago. Here go Corey using the effects again.
He getting ready to use
You know
glasses
I
and
got,
crowns and mustaches and stuff.
I got to put this
Bruh,
hat
you
on
got
today.
effects?
I got to put this one on today.
Oh snap!
Going in today.
How I get one of those?
You
Look,
know,
look at
There he go. Hey, Ashton.
all right.
Ashton, what's up?
So
Y'all see me.
Yes,
Y'all
we
finally
see
see
you.
me.
Yes,
I don't see, bro.
I see Ashton.
Oh, I see him now. There.
Bruh.
All
Ashton,
right.
you
So
you
let's
cold,
let's
bruh?
go ahead
You
and
act like you
reintroduce
up
him
here in
again.
Minnesota.
Oh, well, I'm from Texas, so
Everybody, that
Yeah,
is
you
Ashton
couldn't hang
Ross,
out with
King
us up
Ashton Ross,
here.
King Ashton, what we call him. He is
everybody.
now live and in effect. So if you are tuning in right now, what I need you to do is something that is very easy, very simple, very it's not complex at all. It's very simplistic. What I need you to do is tell your people that we are on live right now.
And
Retweet
whoever,
the
yeah,
link. I didn't even tweet the link out yet. My fault. I'm slipping. Um, Tweet the link out. It should have went up when I went live, but go
and
ahead, tweet that
whoever's
link.
retweeting and telling
When
everybody that
retweet
you're
it, retweet
watching.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you tell everybody that you're watching. We're using the hashtag pound sign RMTV, or you can use the Royal Manhood TV. We look at both of them since everybody uses both now. So that is what it is. So last episode, it was just a couple weeks away, I believe, from Thanksgiving. So let's go ahead and talk about that. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
I'm
Don't all
full. I'm
speak at
still
once.
full.
You're still full.
I ain't ate since last Thursday.
It was good. Mine was good as well.
It was alright.
Alright, what you mean by alright?
It was alright. I wasn't
That
with my immediate family this year like I was last year. It was just me, my parents, and my sister.
Oh, see, that's funny because for the simple fact I wasn't with my family, I was very happy.
Yeah,
I come from a big family on both sides. My mom's one of 7, my dad's one of 6, so I'm used to the whole shebang during
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
they took that be fruitful and multiply for real, huh?
Amen.
Well, back in the day they were poor, so they need them kids for employment around the house. Somebody had to wash the dishes and the clothes and sweep the floor and
True.
wash the cars. So we can't do that now. Kids is expensive.
Amen to that.
Man, who you Elliot, you know, like,
Gotta feed
yeah.
and entertain them little homies. Like, see.
Man, my daughter be like, Daddy, listen. I'm like, what am I listening to, little girl? Like,
She's gonna be a leader when she gets older.
Buddy,
yeah.
She's gonna be an amazing leader when she gets older. But you can just
Sound like she sounds like a freestyle rapper. You know, they come in, listen.
on 106 Freestyle Friday. Oh, I'ma kill them, y'all. Listen.
Yo.
Turn me up.
Turn me up in the headphones, listen.
You know what? I don't even like y'all right now.
hilarious. Oh, I didn't say how my Thanksgiving was. It was straight. I want to be. I was out there on Black Friday for like.
Yeah, I went Black Friday shopping too.
Nope.
I was.
I'm too old. I'm too old for this carrying on. My legs were in pain after I got finished walking through the mall. Like I'm too old for this. I can't do it no more.
I can't do it. I don't see how y'all do it.
I don't see how I did it. I was like, man.
Look, I'm not the one to get up early, so I didn't get up early at all for anything.
No, I didn't get up
I
early.
just got up and just went.
We caught the 6 o'clock
like
sales. Like we went
noon.
Thanksgiving night. That's when we went.
It was,
But okay.
so what the? But yeah, so tonight we're talking about black men and education. Is it still relevant? I got my host with me to the viewers that are watching. You can go ahead and tweet us, retweet, share this on Facebook, on Twitter, Snapchat it, Instagram it, do whatever we got to do. Let them we are talking about black men and education for all the pro-black folk out there. Once again, this one's for you. You get to
All the woke folks.
dialogue, engage. You said in our white folks?
All the woke folks.
She said woke.
Oh.
Woke. Like WOKE.
Watch too. The white folks can watch too. It's fine. So yeah, that's what we're talking about tonight. Anything is this is Donald Trump thing, guys. Let's go ahead and did this right
Oh,
there.
Black Lives Matter thing?
Do we have to?
So Black Lives Matter.
What happened? Someone in his
Donald-
rally?
Talking about thing with the black preacher.
Donald Trump apparently, or it's 100 black preachers met and apparently they came out the meeting with him. One pastor, I don't know who he was, something about there was love in the room and everything like that. He is not like what the media is making him out to be. Blah, blah, blah. Him. And so now it's had Twitter in an uproar about should black Donald Trump, are they just in it for the paper, that type of thing. So with that being said about that, if you see anything about it, go ahead and chime in. Ashton, I see your face. It looks like you got a little something to say about that.
Like I said yesterday on Twitter, the Bible says, "Touch not mine anointed." So I don't know what anointing those men have, so I'm not gonna speak on it. But the only thing I will say is that the Bible also says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So Donald Trump got a whole lot of money. Black preachers, some of the shady ones, they have
They don't have enough money.
history with right. and they have a history with doing shady stuff to get money. So I don't know if that is the case here. I cannot confirm nor deny, but I don't know. That nothing about Donald Trump says pro-black. Nothing about Donald Trump says black.
Nothing about
Like
him says black, period.
yeah, like he couldn't even stomach himself to say Black Lives Matter. So how he sat in a room with 100 black men and they proclaim themselves to be men of God and this and that, whatever, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say to the viewers, those who are watching, is that I have seen like this be an opportunity for anti-Christian and anti-church and anti-black church, I guess promoters to kind of like have their say about the black church and why it sucks and this and that, and that's not going to fly either because those men don't speak for the entire institution of the church or the black church.
No.
Um, so if they are doing whatever they're doing, I got a pops who's a preacher who will tell Donald Trump where to get off. And he's a part of the black church. So let's not umbrella the black church as money hungry swindlers who sell out to Donald Trump. That's what I would say.
And I concur. My father is a pastor, and he works full time. He doesn't take our tithes. He doesn't need our tithes. So,
Yeah, my dad been cutting hair for 20 years, so he still cut hair.
my father is closer to 50 than he is anything else, and he's working full time. He makes an honest living. He's not taking money from our church. I work hard for my money to tithe and to sow into the kingdom and into our church. So every pastor ain't shicey. Every black church ain't. I mean, every church got their share of drama, but every black church is not a tool for the enemy.
Right.
So
So
Right.
yeah, but I mean, hey, everybody's doing it. It's politics. You got to get the black vote, and in order to get the black vote, you got to do black stuff. So
That's all it is.
that's all it is. Because Hillary did the same thing. Every politician, people who were sticking the National Guard on Black Lives Matter protesters, people who were doing this and that and the other, everybody was telling Rosa Parks happy birthday today. You know what I'm saying? Governor Jay Nixon, he did all of that crap in his own state, and then he had the nerve to get on Twitter today talking about Rosa Parks was a great woman. But you sick in the National Guard on your own citizens, and they protest for Black lives. So it's politics, baby. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really worry about it. You can't really stress it. It is what it is. Just make an informed vote. That's what I'll say to the viewers. Make an informed, educated vote. Which is why black men need to be educated.
boy, oh boy.
Elliot, what
To the viewers that are watching right now, I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to figure out what's up with my. We are currently talking about Donald Trump and the pastors that went to go speak with Donald Trump. Basically, is the sentiments of what Ashton just said. Even I go a little further and say that truly, well, I guess I'm a bit concerned, but at the same time, when it comes to politics, they are going to vote for who they want to vote for, who they feel right.
That is if they vote.
And
If
so,
a lot of saints talking and they gonna vote.
so yeah, that's what they're gonna do. And hey, if that's your thing, I can't knock you for it. But at the same time, I think if it is about the money, like T.I., if it is all about that, and you are following somebody like that, I would be more concerned about the people that are being led by those pastors rather than just a pastor, because the sheep that are being shepherded by them are really at stake, because now it's like my pastor is endorsing this man, so he must be a good guy. So now, like, it's and it's a multifaceted marketing scheme when you look at it.
Right.
Like, my pastor endorses Donald Trump. That means I'm going to vote for Donald Trump because my pastor did it. And we live in a culture now where a lot of the times people in the church can be manipulated and brainwashed, depending on the person, to thinking that whatever my pastor does has to be right because I'm following this man. And so much like to what Ashton said, make an informed vote, make a true, authentic vote about who you feel is right. Look at all areas of the aspect. Don't just follow what your pastor does. Because clearly, meetings with the almost calling the president, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Clearly,
Knock on wood.
clearly meetings with Donald Trump, and apparently, I just found out today at work that Donald Trump's at Liberty University, which is a Christian is a Christian college. So it's like, is Donald Trump a Christian? Like, I don't know that.
You're joking, right?
If he is, then good Lord, I'm so serious. He spoke at Liberty at their chapel, and I did not know that till today.
Politicians speak at Christian functions all the time. They need
they want the vote.
Right, they want the vote.
Apparently, the thing is that when you come speak at Liberty, they want to bring a whole variety of people. So, but they also want them to be Christian too. So Christian businessmen and all this other stuff. So, like, I guess the specification is that they're Christian. So, if Donald Trump is speaking there, just like Bernie Sanders was speaking there, then like Christians, I don't know.
Okay, how many false prophets and teachers were there around during Jesus' time? And then after Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into heaven, how many more fake apostles were running around? Like, anybody can lie and say they're a Christian. Like, that's not hard. Oh, yeah, I'm a Christian. I got Christian values. I got Christian beliefs. Like, this is what makes me mad about politics. Not just because I studied it, but I did a lot of interning with it, so I get how it works, like how it really works. All you have to do is not pay attention. Literally. No, literally. All you have to do is not pay attention. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, well, Donald Trump said this. All you have to do is not pay attention to him. Well, Bernie Sanders says this. All you have to do is not pay attention to them. Well, Hillary's saying this. All you have to do is not pay attention to them. Do your own research. There wasn't nothing that comes out of these folks' mouth. And make an informed decision, in my opinion, based on your principles and values. Because you're not about to sit here and convince me that Donald Trump... You can't put me and Donald Trump in the same category. I'm a firm believer in the faith. You're not about to sit here and tell me that so is Donald Trump. And if he is, or if that's what he's claiming, rather, nah, bruh. Like, I'd call him out to his face. Like, nah, you not. Like, I do, like, what did John the Baptist say? He said, you brutal vipers. Let's say dead to his face. That's what the Apostle Paul... Well, that's what the Apostle Paul said. He said, hey, if anybody comes to you preaching a different gospel than what we gave you,
Call it a curse.
It's a curse. Send them on their way and don't receive it. Like, you're not about to sit up here and convince me that Donald Trump stands on the same foundation
John, you froze up so bad
of the
just
Bible
now.
that
John froze up. John froze up so bad it's on my extra internet.
God get him back for it.
Wait, what happened? Did my internet go out?
Yes, it froze up so bad. And
Okay, maybe, wait, hold on. Maybe it's not. Okay, Ashton, let's be real, bro. You done had internet problems since last season. Like, don't come from me when I had one issue. Don't come from me when I had one issue, bro. You logged in and out of the chat room 5 or 6 times.
I'm telling you, John.
All right.
You need to drop money on your internet bill. I got you.
I got you. Okay. Just for that, I'm gonna pray God send some snow your way, just like we got.
No, because then that mess gonna come to South Carolina. We had enough going on. No, please.
Oh yeah, oh it's gonna come. You
No.
can thank Ashton for that.
Because look, I got finals, and I need a reason. I go to class.
All right. Them snow days add up. You be in school throughout Christmas break.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. I'm in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
All right,
that
so
was laugh of the night. Sorry, y'all. We ain't
now
focused.
to the we died. To the viewers at home, if you can do me a favor, we are about to get into Black Men in Education right now. Go ahead and tell your people to log in right now. I decided to go ahead and cut down all the sports talk, even though Kobe retiring. We won't talk about that right now.
We got to talk about my boy.
My heart.
Hey,
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
All right, look, we got a minute. We got a minute to talk about Kobe. Then we're talking about black men.
A minute? You can't even do Kobe like that.
No, sir.
Okay. Let's not talk about Kobe because I could go for hours. Let's move to black men in education because a minute is not going to do it justice. Jim Bush should be fired.
I'm not a Kobe fan, but I respect his game, and I'm sad to see him go too. So that's what I'm saying.
You don't.
Like,
Yo, real talk.
Elliot, you a nerd.
One dude I know called Kobe a fraud, talking about the NBA finally can get back to some integrity and say that Tim Duncan is the best player since Jordan. Everybody was like, "What?"
I mean to put everything into perspective, when Kobe retires and then Tim Duncan retires, that's literally 10 years of basketball. That's an entire generation gone.
Gone.
Like gone. That's it. Like it's them too. They were the best of our generation. You know, and now you got the Kevin Durant's, the Russell Westbrooks, you know, that's a whole new different generation. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
He was like, Tim Duncan is the best since Jordan. Everybody was
like, Jordan, wow. We all just figured out that we have a live chat open. So to the viewers that are watching, I'm looking at the chat right now. Go ahead and give your questions and comments right there. I'll try to go back and forth and read them right there. If you go, put it on mute first before you hit the link.
It's disabled.
Got it.
I can't. How do I get it?
I don't know.
It was saying this disabled.
Clear today on my left.
Nah, I know I
Maybe
can
it's
check
because
with y'all. I don't know. Whatever.
So, Pete, black men education, is it still relevant? That is the question that I'm putting on the table right now. Is education still relevant to the African American male, to the black male? Somebody take on that answer, and let's go.
All right, so check this out. So there was this quote, right, from W.E.B. Du Bois, and he was talking about basically like right after the slaves were freed and they were looking for what to do with this population of black people. And he said, is it possible and probable that 9 millions of men can make effective progress in economic lines if they are deprived of political rights, made a servile caste, and allowed only the most meager chance for developing their exceptional men? If history and reason give any distinct answer to these questions, it is an emphatic no. So what that means is that without education, without opportunity, without economic prowess, we cannot do anything. We cannot progress as a people, as a generation, as a culture. We have to educate ourselves, even if it's not always a school textbook. We got to be educating ourselves 24/7 about our rights. We have to be educating ourselves about the world we live in. We have to be educating ourselves about the God that we serve, and to be constantly learning. And for black men, especially education is going to forever be relevant. I think there's a glorification of, I don't know, trapping or whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? I think there might be a slight glorification of the hustle or this or that. But a lot of people I know hustle, but they get their degree too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of party promoters out here with degrees. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of plugs out here moving weight out of their dorm room. You know what I'm saying? But they trying to get a degree because it's necessary. And I'm not condoning selling drugs, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, black men in education, they need to be synonymous. You know what I'm saying? Black men they definitely need education. More than a lot of the things that they put their weight in and put their time and their effort into. Education is one of those things. So I think Du Bois was right. We can't progress as a society. We can't progress as a culture, as a people, without our men being educated. And that's, without our population being educated. Period. But since this is World Manhood TV and we're talking about men, definitely our black men need their education.
And I want to hit on one thing, Ashton, that you talked about. There's a distinct difference between black educated men and black men with degrees or with education. And I think black men have to do a better job understanding the difference between the two. And like you stated, across the board, we need to be educated across the board, politically, socially, especially with our faith. Educated on how to invest, how to save money across the board. That's educated. That's the educated black man. Now, you can have an African American male with 5 degrees, and is still lacking the foundational concepts to his faith, how to raise a child, to anything. So when we're talking about black educated men, we're not just talking about degrees on degrees and you having a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate. We're talking about, I think we have to make sure we understand that just because you have degrees don't mean you're educated.
Yeah.
To reiterate what both of y'all said, I also one thing Ashton was saying was how trapping is glorified and all this other stuff. We were raised in a different era compared to the kids now. Like this generation coming up, you gotta pray because I know when I was growing up, I don't have any brothers. I just got a sister, but I can only imagine how hard, like, my parents were hard on me. I can only imagine how they would have been if I had a brother because they taught me, work ethic. You got to work hard to get something in life. Ain't nobody going to give nothing, and I know that's not perfect English, but ain't nobody going to give nothing to you. You got to get up off your butt and you're going to work. You're going to know how to, like, even with my chores, like, you're going to get up and clean this house. You're not going to sit here and breathe all this free air and eat all my food and do all this stuff and just sit in this house and not do nothing. When I turned 16, my mama took me to fill out job applications. Like, she did not play with me. My father, listen, either school or the military. You getting up out here. If you go in the workforce, then God bless. But you see, minimum wage ain't but so much. And me and your mama, we got jobs. And we doing the best we can to try to make it and raise a family. Like, we want better for you. We graduated high school. We want you to go farther than what we did. This generation of folks now, they ain't doing nothing, so they don't want you to do nothing. They don't want to work. Mm-hmm. They want everything easy, fast, in a hurry. Like, everybody know Ashton was raising money to, get his fees and stuff straight for school. And, like, first of all, before I say anything else, it was just amazing at the support Ashton got with this GoFundMe to get the money for school. Like, it is amazing how many people really poured into Ashton and supported him and sold into him. Like, it's amazing. But then it was people who was really hating on him. Like, one dude was like, y'all really use it. What did he say, Ashton? He was like, y'all really using this thing for to come up or something like that. I was like,
he said college is finessing us.
yeah, I was like, this dude really, he's trying to get his education. Like, why you mad because he want to raise the money? He was saying we was finessing the GoFundMe thing. He was like, he raising money to get his education. It ain't like he using GoFundMe to buy some shoes or, you know, take his girl out on a date or something. Something he could work and raise his own money for. He's doing it to better himself. And one girl was, baby didn't even read. Well, financial aid isn't included. This is why I be talking about education, honey, because you need to read. The form clearly had financial
Right.
It clearly had financial aid, all the housing fees, the meal plan, and all the other stuff. Like, it was kind of sad. It was a beautiful thing to see how people help, but they, like, people who ain't doing nothing don't want you to do nothing.
Some of those issues that people that stem from that same value proposition is not being instilled in people in the household to value education.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
they're not teaching that to their children. This is what you need to do. You know, speaking from experience, I'm a first generation student, so I didn't have the guidance. I didn't have anybody in my corner saying this is what you need to do. I made a decision. But you know, I'm one of the few that will make that same decision. So that same value needs to be instilled in our children in the households who, when they grow up, they will understand, okay, this is the stepping stone. This is what I need to do to progress. This is just an opportunity to have more, to experience life, and to open more opportunities.
right.
So, you know, it just has to be taught. If people are not exposed to it, it's foreign to them.
And like I said, I mean, you know, and Corey and John, I believe y'all can understand because y'all are parents. Like, my father even told me I'd be less of a parent to not want more for my child. Like, my dad wanted to go into the Marines. He didn't go. He ended up working. But he was like, look, everything I couldn't do in my day, I want God to bless my kids to do it. So me, my mom and my dad did not go to college right after high school. My mom is in school now. She's going back to school, praise God. But she's in school now, and she's just like, look, do it while you're young, because you've been out of school so long and trying to comprehend all this stuff, it's kind of tough. You know, she's doing well, but looking back, she's like, I wish I had got it out the way already. But, like, nobody has that push. And then environment, popular culture, like, my sister loves watching A Different World. And I was telling her, like, this is what we grew up on. Like, we had stuff to show us, like, look, you can do it. Like, they don't have that now. Everybody talking about pushing something and Coco and all this other stuff. So, like, it's ridiculous. It's sad. Like, everybody want fast money, and you got to work, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a lot of examples out there of, you know, people. I don't know. You know, I'm not gonna knock anybody, but I see a lot of young ladies that will jump at the opportunity to defend Kim Kardashian's empire. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say she built herself and she built.
They got an empire?
And she did this. She's such a hard worker, and she has a clothing line, and she has this, she has that. Kim Kardashian came from a lot of money. You know what
she
I'm saying?
Came from money anyway.
Kardashian, name Kardashian. Robert Kardashian, you know what I'm saying? He was part of the dream team. You know what I'm saying? He worked on OJ's case, so it wasn't like she just was from little poor dumb Armenia somewhere and didn't have any money, didn't have any opportunities. She came from money. She dated men with money. She got investments. She just has a lot of different privileges. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I always say I feel like she's famous for being famous. You know what I'm saying? She's rich for being rich. Like she doesn't really have any type of clout behind what she has. But regardless, of my feelings about Kim Kardashian, we have a lot of people who are looking to live that lifestyle, that reality TV, just quasi celebrity, look the part lifestyle. Nobody's really valuing anything like a different world. Nobody's really valuing anything like and educate like that our society, like we think we need it, but some of the, because of the economy, like a lot of people are discouraged about college, and they just feel like, well, let me just not worry about it altogether. Let me just do something else, But they don't really have any guidance on what to do. So for black men, I won't tell anybody that college and education, yes, you need to be educated no matter what you do. I won't tell anybody that college is the absolute only way to success, because it's proven fact that it's not. But at the same time, have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Be educated, learn, do something. I don't know, anything besides sitting at home on your mama's couch. Like the military is a great place to learn things. There's other avenues, traveling, and even ministry is a great place to learn, and educate yourself. But do something productive. I think black men need to definitely stand up and be more productive as a demographic, for sure.
Yeah, like I told y'all, my parents told me either college or the military. It's one of the two. You ain't sitting here. Like, these kids got choices now, man. Like, well, it's whatever as long as you happy.
So, this leads to my next question. I think you made a pivotal point, Ashton, about get up and really, it doesn't, even if it's not college, get yourself about something. I want to go deeper into this, though. Majority of African Americans, even in a whole, there's a condition that's placed on us that we can't be as educated, or we have these generational curses where a lot of us, I won't even call it a curse, but you're the first person in your generation, or first person in your household to graduate from college. Those type of numbers. What do you say to somebody who's conditioned in the mindset, or even within the systemic type of realm, where it's basically like, education, nah, that's not for me. I can never do that. What do we say to the people, and even those who live in a rural area where they're living off of government assistance per se? How do you motivate them toward education? So yeah, that's my question.
Are we talking? Yeah, it was. Are you talking specifically higher education? Because you said a mouthful in that question. Because when we talk about the realm and the sphere of education, you're talking about a million plus different ways of being educated. You got kids of that younger generation and be like, you know what, college and school ain't for me. Well, I could do this, I could trap and do all this other stuff. I'm not saying I agree with it, because Lord knows I don't, but you got to have some type of education to do some of that stuff. Yeah. You got to have some type of street, what we would all call street smarts.
So I guess let me break it down. Yeah. So let me break it down to, I guess, one pivotal question then. And let's just focus on higher education. For African American men, or even the African American community, the culture, is higher education or relevant to us now?
Oh, without question.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
I mean, because right now, like, Here's what's educating our generation and the generation after us. MTV, VH1, BET. The problem is, you can call it a curse, maybe it's not a curse. I don't necessarily have enough knowledge to say whether it is or not, but you have way back in Jesus' time when you were 16 and 17, you got married off to somebody's family, because even back then they had a plan and you knew what you had to do. Nowadays you have babies making babies, so you got people that are 19, 20, and 21, and they walk around with 3 or 4 year olds and just like, well, I can't deal with this, I can't handle this. It's like, no, you brought a child into this world. So that's part of the problem right there, is that the amount of care for actually establishing the quote-unquote black family is dead. You don't see shows like The Cosby Show. You don't see shows like even the Wayans Brothers to some extent. You don't see shows like It's a Different World. You don't see shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You don't see these family-oriented shows. I get it. I know we have black-ish, but they're not necessarily, you know, it's a lot of satire. It's funny, you know, it's dry humor to some extent. It doesn't really tackle deep-seated African American community type issues that we're dealing with. What we need right now is more fathers, more brothers, more uncles, more men. Even look, Elliot, I'll put it on us. I'll put it on you, me, Ashton, and Corey. Us four could start a whole movement if we wanted to. Get 100 young brothers, start our own charter school, get it completely funded, and do what they're doing in the inner city in Chicago and graduating some of these kids at a higher percent in population. That's what needs to go on in every single community, not just in a city per se. It needs to go on in every single community. It needs to go on in every single neighborhood, because we have to educate ourselves. We cannot continue to rely on the government. We cannot continue to just rely on what social media has to tell us. We live in such a digital age that our young African American men and even our African American women to some point are growing up without basic social skills. Like, folks can't even have a agree to disagree without them trying to fight each other. So when it comes to education, I think it's on us, because the older generation is looking at us like, well, your generation screwed up, but no one's handing out their hand to be like, here, come follow me, let me show you how I did this. So I think it's incumbent upon our generation, a majority of the millennials, and even those that came before us, to look to this younger generation, grab them early, and really start on a strong, steady foundation and exercise a great amount of patience, even more patience that was given to us when we were younger.
Well, the doors of the church are now open.
Piggyback off of that and say is that as far as shows like Blackish, I always think about that show. Tracy Ellis Ross did another show with Malcolm Jamal Warner on BET for a while called Read Between the Lines, and they were comparing it to like the new Cosby. Could have been because Malcolm Jamal Warner was a part of it, but it also, I believe, was because of the storyline. I believe because of the family orientation of it, and I think that shows like that, there's a need for them, but there's no desire. There's a supply of them, but there's no demand. And I think that this generation that we're in doesn't really want to see that, and that's a root problem that we have to. That's a root problem that we have to dig into as well, which is, you know, why is it that we don't really care to see happy, funny, fun-loving, joyful black family units on television, prospering, learning life lessons, you know, but every week we're tuned into women calling each other B words, slapping each other upside the head, sleeping with each other's men. We love it, we eat it up, we crave it, we can't wait for the reunion shows, we can't wait for this, we can't wait for that. But when it comes down to something like a new Cosby, something like a new A Different World, you know, I think about, I started watching A Different World this year, and I finished the whole thing this year, and I thought about the fact, I thought about what if we did a reboot for A Different World. And I really came to the conclusion that it wouldn't last, it wouldn't prosper. Number one, because some of the values and the things that were taught on A Different World we wouldn't even see them as politically correct nowadays because of how far left the culture has gone. Also, I just think when it comes, I think what made A Different World work so well was that it was fun loving. It was serious, but it got its point across in a fun loving way. And I think now, if you were to approach a show like A Different World, everybody will be trying to just drown it in sex and alcohol, and because if you have a college show now, people expect for it to be rowdy and they expect for it to be drugs and fun and just all kind of mischievous acts, and just the innocence of the people are gone, and it's all about riotousness nowadays. And so Cosby and those good old shows, like, that's what they're looked at as the good old days, but that's not where we're living at anymore. And I think that that's a root issue, a community issue, and I think it also has to do with our value in education as well. Why do we not value things like education and family and financial literacy and political literacy and just all different types of things like that? But we value money, cars, clothes, materialism,
yeah.
Right? Things that have no real value.
But I also believe, to reiterate what you said, I also believe it's because this generation is so used to foolishness. Anything productive, we really can't grasp it because we're just like Black-ish. It's a lot of people who, they even said they couldn't get into Black-ish, and I'm like, what? I mean, it's positive. You got a Black male figure in the home. He's married to one woman. He don't have a side chick. He got pretty good kids, even though they're mischievous, but children will be children. I mean, he ain't cussing her out. They both have stable careers. Like, it's a good, wholesome TV show.
Right.
And people still don't like it.
Yeah, they can't get into it like
Because yeah. It's just like they can't really grasp it because they're waiting. Okay, so where's the drama? When he gonna cheat? When the teenage daughter gonna get pregnant?
Right.
I mean, like, we are programmed to a lot of foolishness. I'll say that. And even when it comes to education, like the new Drumline movie. I'm not gonna even front. I hated that Drumline movie because I was just like, it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to be like the first one, but then like showing the positive side of Black kids going to HBCU, like how the first one did, like the pride in the school. It wasn't really all that to me. But then when they start showing the gay boy messing with the football player, and then some other stuff was going on, I was like, what is this? Like, it's all over the place. Like, what happened to the HBCU pride of the first movie? That's what I wanted to see.
Because Black excellence doesn't sell tickets. Black excellence needs to be Black excellence. They want to starve out. It's about money, and that's what's unfortunate. I've been tweeting out our hashtags: World Manhood TV, hashtag RMTV. Shout out to Justin Lockett. I got your comment. Appreciate you, bro. We need to create the demand for excellence. We need to create the demand for a higher standard of excellence. It's on us to tell our Black women that they're gorgeous. It's on to us to tell our Black men that there's a better way than selling drugs and doing all this other stuff. And when it comes to who's going to step up and be the leaders, hey, I say, if we got people helping us, great. But if we don't, need to be a changing of the guard in the Black community. Right. And it's on us. It's on our generation. I love y'all much. Definitely. I'll take my wife out because it's her birthday. You know how I do.
Happy birthday, wifey.
They say, sweet. They say happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're not gonna say hi? She being bougie.
All right. Well, John, you have a good time, bro. And next episode, because I know you said Tuesdays was kind of weird for you. So.
Oh, don't worry. I'm working on getting all Tuesdays off, man. I'm just, just pray for me. Love y'all much.
All right.
Love you back.
No doubt.
All right.
All right. So for the last few moments of this, I think we had a lot of discussion about black men education and how we can how can we move forward with educating our own. Now the another big topic that's been going on, and hopefully we can dead it right now. And it's probably not going to go away, but we're going to let it try to bury it for a couple months, well, until the new year.
I'm finna start itching because I think I know what you're getting ready to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead, start itching.
Jesus.
HBCUs versus PWI. How big of a deal is it for us as African Americans, HBCUs versus PWIs?
How big of a deal?
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Corey.
I'm sorry. How big of a deal is it? It is huge. It is huge. Just for lack of better words, HBCUs, when you think about it and just putting it in historical context, they were established to fulfill a need in our community, to teach African Americans who didn't have the opportunity to go to PWI. So, when you look at the premise of HBCUs and what they have accomplished and the people who have graduated from those institutions who have provided so much back to the community and the impact that they have had, yes, HBCUs are needed. But to think about it, the thing, I guess, where the issue is are they still relevant? That's been the ongoing issue today, and what do we do as African Americans and as pro HBCU students and alumni? How do we get that word out there? So yeah, just to answer that question, yes, it is huge. And when you think about it, these institutions were designed to teach us. Going back to what John said, we have to teach ourselves. That's what HBCUs were put on, were designed to do, and we have to leverage that. And this is this ongoing discussion where a lot of African American brothers are like, okay, I'm about to go to this PWI because it's going to provide more opportunities, it's going to give me an advantage, et cetera, et cetera. That's not true. Your college experience is what you make it. You make a decision on where you're going to school and what you do with your education, what you do with that platform. For me, I always wanted to go to HBCU. It's a safe haven for us. They're cultivating, they're growing African American educated African Americans in the community, and there's value in it. Where you can go to an institution where you're learning not about yourself, about your culture, about your history, about who you are. There's value attached to that. So when you think about these institutions, we have to do a better job as alum giving back, the financial aspect of it, because it just makes no sense. When you think about it, these institutions are built on what? Land grant money. To continue to operate those institutions, you got to keep money flowing, keep that, to keep it operating. And when I look at going back to our black celebrities, what are we doing? What are we giving back to our institutions to keep them afloat? So it's just, man, it's a whole lot, and I have no hard feelings against PWI. Nothing wrong with that. However, there's a value attached to HBCUs, but we just have to understand that. Oprah went what? Oprah went to Tennessee State. What's she doing? What's she giving to Tennessee State? I don't know, but
I didn't know she even went.
Yeah, I didn't know Oprah went to no Tennessee State.
I didn't even know. I'm sorry, Oprah.
I thought she woke up.
But they can't operate until we make a decision. Okay, when we graduate, we got to give back. We got to contribute. We got to give back and reach back to those who come before us. That's the only way they're going to stay relevant in today's society.
Well, I went to a PWI, and looking back, I wish I did go to HBCU for the heritage and the spirit of the school and all that other stuff, because I will say at a PWI there were one out, and that too. But I will say, as an African American and then an African American woman, it was tough sometimes. It was really, really tough being recognized for certain things at a PWI. Well, at the PWI I went to. You don't get a lot of credit for the good stuff that you do sometimes. Homecomings ain't as lit as they do. Homecomings are not as lit. It's one of those things you really have to experience to understand. Like, it's kind of tough. I didn't have a black professor until my senior year, and she was a nut. So I didn't know where to put her.
Cool.
And, it was kind of awkward because she was saying she was teaching African American literature. And she was like, I'm not even going to be teaching this next year. And I was like, well, who going to teach it if you don't? You the only black English teacher here I know. So who is going to teach African American lit like a black person? Not saying, white people can't teach it, but you get a little bit more insight when it's from your people, And she was like, she's not gonna be teaching them more. Like, who gonna do it? So it's different. It's really, really different. Looking back, I wish I did. I do appreciate my PWI and all the things that I've learned there, but if I could go back to 2009, yes, I think I would have chosen HBCU. But I'm grateful for my education. And my school is accredited.
One thing I will say about PWIs and HBCUs, luckily I don't know if I'll say luckily, but I was afforded the opportunity to go to a PWI and to a HBCU as well. And I was able to see it from both sides, and there's pros and cons on both. I don't think that there is an argument to be made against the value in HBCUs. HBCUs are extremely valuable. There's no doubt about it. Just because of off the general principle of the rich history in them alone, and like Corey said, the premise behind the fact that they were birthed out of a need. And you go back and you look at just the land grants and the 1890 acts and the Just and Moral Acts and all of those different things like that, and just that whole time period. You're gonna free a whole bunch of people. You're gonna write it into legislation that slaves can be free, whoop-de-doo. But then you don't want to educate them. Then you don't want to employ them. Then you don't want to do anything with them. So what does that do for your economy? What does that do for your culture? What does that do for your land? So it was definitely a need for HBCUs because PWIs, they weren't trying to have us. Of course, now, we live in a society where, of course, yeah, sure.
Oh, Lord, Ashton.
Uh-oh.
So Corey, let me ask you this. You're Greek, right? You're a Sigma?
Yes.
How do you feel when you see white fraternity brothers and fraternity brothers who aren't black? Like, how do you feel about it?
I have nothing against it. Frankly, I guess just being an African American Greek organization, and one of our, principles is just being inclusive. There's nothing wrong with it. I have nothing against diversity. However, for the most part, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, half Caucasian and half Latino either. So that's the only reason why they was formed. They were birthed, Greek organizations. They were birthed out of a need. You know, it wasn't a place
Being
to
our
go
community.
for,
Right.
you know, to fellowship with our, you know, fellow brothers. But the doors is always open to, you know, other cultures and other races. I have no problem with it. You know, what some of my line brothers are actually mixed. They're Latino. You know, our line consists of all cultures. Um, and I think there's just uh, a value in that to make sure that everybody, yes, we are the basis is African American. However, we can reach out and we can, you know, interact with other cultures. But yeah, and just going back, there's I guess for me, I've never had the want to go to a PWI. I'm not even sure if I don't even know why, to be honest.
And that's
I
why
just
I
never
asked,
had
because
the
at my
want.
PWI, that's why I asked, because at my PWI, listen, I know a white Zeta.
Hmm.
I've
Yep.
seen white Kappas, which, I mean, everybody knows Sam Whiteout, but I've seen white Kappas a couple times. I've seen a white Omega, and I'm just like, see, only at PWIs you see this.
Yeah.
Because I
You
didn't
see
know
it.
they could do it. Like, you know, me and my ignorance, when I went to college, I was like, oh, I didn't know they could do, okay. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Only at PWIs you see that stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I would say that.
Okay, I'm back. Can y'all see me?
Go
Ashton.
ahead and ask.
Man, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Okay, but the point I was trying to make, I think, was HBCUs. When we think about institutional racism, we think about systemic racism. HBCUs experience those things. The reason I'll say that is because if you ask, I feel like if you poll all high school black students that are college bound, and you say, where do you want to go? They're going to give you an HBCU, especially if there's an HBCU in their state.
The blackest one they can find.
Right. 9 times out of 10, just simply because they were raised around, you know, their mama and the daddy, and they went to a HBCU, or they auntie went to a HBCU, or somebody in their family went to a HBCU. And if somebody in your family went to a HBCU, that person definitely is telling every college-bound child in that family, go to a HBCU, because the experience is unparalleled. The experience is unlike, you know, anything else. There's so much pride and just joy that goes into it. You go to a PWI, it's like, oh yeah, we have a good school, you know, whatever. But when you go to HBCU, it's like, look, you going here. You know what I'm saying? My kids going here, my grandkids going here. This is where you're going, you know. So ain't no. But these children, these HBCUs, they get into them. They put their acceptance letters on Facebook, and then they go to their financial aid office, and financial aid is giving them $5 to go to school.
And then they got
like, right, and then
you made the honor roll. If you got good grades, they give you 10.
yeah, and then they gotta get on. Then they gotta get on GoFundMe and say, I'm a black man trying to be educated. Can you please help me, you know, go to school? But no, seriously, there's no funding going out. These HBCUs are state, you know, some of them, A&T, North Carolina A&T State University, it should be state funded. It should be getting the same monies that UNCG, that UNCC, that even GTCC is getting. But what, you know, you look at HBCUs, and that's what everybody's story is. I wanted to go to a HBCU. My PWI offered me more money. And it's not because HBCUs suck and they're stingy. It's because HBCUs are not funded the same way that PWIs are funded. It's because alumni, HBCUs are usually smaller than PWIs. And alumni can give back and give back and give back But alumni gotta live themselves too. You know, they can't give their whole paycheck to their HBCU.
And I'm telling you, your degree don't even be in your hand good enough, and the alumni association already asking for it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
It's fine.
3 hours. Excuse me. You got $50?
And it's
Right,
funny you say that because I got a tweet just now. I mean, cut you off. Justin Lockett said, if you add up all the money and time given back to all HBCUs, it doesn't add up to 10% of what's given at Harvard. I say, oh
That's
God,
true.
that made my head hurt.
That's true. That's true.
No,
Well, we got to put that in
point.
perspective now.
Good point.
We got to put that in perspective. We have the financial capacity to have every HBCU afloat and doing well. African American,
Right.
The African American community have that financial capacity. We have it, but
You do, but then at the same time, it's hell finding a job when you graduate.
yeah, but you know, our purchasing power is what, $1 trillion?
Oh,
It is.
yeah.
We have. It doesn't make sense to me why a HBCU it should struggle. South Carolina State. What is going on? We have the money. If we have the money to keep the institution afloat. It's just what are we doing with our money?
I look at the fact that I'm 12 years old, I'm 13 years old, and I'm watching Drumline, and I'm seeing Morris Brown College. Had never heard of Morris Brown College. I'm seeing Morris Brown College on there representing, doing their thing. I say, is Morris Brown a real school? Yeah, Morris Brown a real school. It's in Atlanta. Da-da-da-da. I'm researching. I'm like, oh, snap, Morris Brown. You look at Morris
They be getting ready to
Brown.
shut Morris Brown down. Ain't no money.
Morris Brown trying to keep their head above water. You hear me? Making the way when you can. Morris Brown got good times. Temporary layoffs, easy credit rip-offs. They are trying.
Morris Brown is struggling.
Morris Brown is struggling. You know, I look at HBCUs in Texas. You know, Texas Southern University, Prairie View University. Texas Southern is right across the street from University of Houston. University of Houston got all the money, all the funding. You go on TSU campus, gates is unlocked, gates broken, it's broke down. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that.
It's not funny, but the way you say it.
but it's the truth. It's the truth. It's like it's almost like the sun shines over University of Houston, and you go right down the street to TSU, and it just get murky, and you just like, what? Why? You know. But in all seriousness,
where did the beautiful clouds go?
You say what?
My God, why have you forsaken me? But that's why, like in South Carolina, the most notable HBCU I will say is Claflin University. South Carolina State was in the news because the president was doing some shiesty stuff. Morris College is Sodom and Gomorrah. My mama told me, listen, please, if you don't do nothing else, I'd rather you not go to school before you go to Mars. That's just how bad it is out there. Benedict, somebody always getting shot. It's tough.
That's where we get back to systemic and institutional racism, because the environments that we grow up in, when we do get those students that do go to HBCUs, they bring their environment with them to those HBCUs. And, you know, you got your alcoholism, you got your STDs, you have your early pregnancies, you have your drug abuse, you have this and that on these campuses, you know, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. And we have to figure out ways to bring down institutions and systems that are oppressing the people before we can rise, before these HBCUs can see their better days, because you know they saw really good days in the late 80s, early 90s. I think that they can see those days again. I think the buzz is there. I think people want to be a part of them. You know, I think people want to go there. Kids want to go to HBCUs, but why? What's keeping them out?
Yeah.
What's keeping them out? And I think that's something that we should
do
discuss.
a job advocating for.
That's true.
Especially with a product. I would have 3 degrees from a historically black college and university. 3 degrees, bachelor's, master, and a Juris Doctorate. But if we don't celebrate the benefits and the value that's attached to that, we're losing out. You know what? I'm looking at my last year's graduating class for NCCU. If I can remember correctly, there was about a 5% of alumni gave back. 5% out of about 700-800 students. I mean, I don't know, man. We gotta do a better job.
No doubt.
You mentioned benefits, and I'm thinking maybe we should do a part 2. But I'm gonna ask this question, and maybe we can do a part 2. But you said something about we don't celebrate the benefits of getting our degree from a historic black college. Here's a big question, though. When we do get the degree from a historical black college, and we don't necessarily begin to work in our field of study right off the bat, where exactly is the benefits? Because I think a lot of times what can also be a part of this argument is that, and I've had people say this to me before, that to employers, if you put my degree from North Carolina State University up against somebody's degree from a University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, who is going to get looked at more? So where does the benefit lie in me graduating? And of course, I know the benefit. I'm just asking the question as a host, so don't tear me apart. But to those who are probably thinking that, what exactly is the benefit of getting that degree from a historically black college when the moment you step out that door, you're already back to being 2 steps behind the graduate from North Carolina State University or UNC Chapel Hill, who may even be black in the same breath?
Well, I think one thing we have to do is we have to realize that with the economy and the culture that we live in, a college degree, the validity and the value of a college degree, period, is on trial. It's on trial because got college students going in there racking up thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of debt. A year, 2 years after graduation, they're working at Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Walmart, Lane Bryant. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm sorry, the way he said it.
So I think the validity of a college degree in general is on trial. I think when you break that into PWI versus HBCU, that goes back into systems and institutions that are set up to oppress blacks. But at the same time, I do believe that there are benefits to going to an HBCU. I think, and I'll say it because here at this HBCU, I realize that it's going to be what you make it, and I think that when students grab a hold of that, it's going to be a lot easier to make it at a HBCU than it is at a PWI. When I talk about making it, I'm talking about networking. I'm talking about connections, lifelong connections. I'm talking about alumni, just the overall tie that you have to your institution. That HBCU is going to give you so many more opportunities just because older black people are looking to see younger black people succeed. You know, you gotta almost. I dated a chick one time, man. When I was at a PWI, the girl was brilliant. She was a financial genius. You know what I'm saying? The girl from our little PWI in East Texas. Man, she went and interned at Goldman Sachs. Was the only person from our school only person from our region to go and intern at Goldman Sachs for this mass internship that they hold every summer. Everybody else in her intern class was from Harvard, Yale, Princeton. She's from Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches, Texas. So the girl was amazing, right? But check this. Check this though. Professors were all over her. She had connections. She had job offers, whatever. But it was because she was some shining star at this PWI. You see what I'm saying? If you're just an average Joe, you know what I'm saying, with your B average and like, you know, your good grades and a dream, you know, whatever, at a PWI and you're a black kid, it's like they're not trying to really just stick their neck out there for you. They're not trying to help you network. They're not trying to give you the numbers and the emails and the business cards of their associates that have jobs available, because that's going to Billy. You know what I'm saying? That's going to Becky Sue.
Billy flunking out.
And Billy flunking out. You know what I'm saying? Billy in the frat house. Billy in the frat house drunk right now. Billy is in the Kappa Psi house.
Feels like Tylenol. You wondering how he still make it to class.
So when I think about the HBCU aspect of it, man, you got alumni. When I tell you that alumni here have reached out to me in ways that I could have never gotten alumni from my PWI to do. When I tell you that alumni that don't even know me, but just the fact that I'm come on, graduate. Just the fact that I say I'm an Aggie. I only been here a semester, and just the fact that I say I go here, alumni are like, well, you family, baby. You know what I'm saying? Well, you eat, I'ma eat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eats, B. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about not just lip service. I'm talking about people who have gotten me rides to places I need to get rides to, job opportunities, you know, help me, point me in the right direction. A gentleman here, I got put in connection with a gentleman here on campus with my financial situation. He talked to this one and that one. Oh yeah, I go to church with her. Oh yeah, I know her mama. I know her daddy. And these are administrators that we're talking about, these people that he knows. And he's putting me in connections with. See, that when I started watching A Different World and I saw how Jada Pinkett came to school, she didn't really have what she needed or whatever. And then, you know, because of the fact that she was a young, promising student, people of color were willing to reach out to her. That's the value in the HBCU. That's what it's all about, because you're not gonna get that at a PWI as a black student. 9 times out of 10, you gotta be Albert Einstein.
Right.
That is true.
That's what separates HBCUs. That's the only place where you can have somebody guide you and be there with you step by step.
Corey in his cap. Like, hey, it's so serious. I mean, he is really talking like he's valedictorian.
Well,
but then also, I want to point out too, like how we're talking about a different world. And people, what I said earlier, people push their kids. Like Dwayne Wayne's mama. Dwayne Wayne was from Brooklyn. His daddy was a bus driver. And what did Adele do? What did his mama do besides make that nasty cobbler? Whatever she did.
Making patty pies.
Patty pies.
They pushed him like, look, we know you smart. We're going to invest in you. Do the best you can. And we're going to be proud of you. Like, he had that push. And his environment was motivation for him to say, look, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm proud of my upbringing. I'm not ashamed. But I'm going to do better. And I'm going to raise my kids in a better environment where you're not going to forget where you come from. But the crime and the sickening stuff that goes on in the communities, you don't have to be a product of that. You can come out of that. And a lot of people don't have that today.
For sure. To the viewers that are still watching, thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us. We are about to wrap up. Any closing remarks you have about education? Do you think we should do a part 2, or are we good on this? So yeah, panel, you guys have the floor.
Y'all stop listening to anti-intellect.
I ain't gonna talk no more because my. Oh yes. Oh yes.
Stop listening to them because they're not even in
yeah.
school.
Yeah, didn't graduate. And one of them is a child molester. So. I mean, you call ace and a spade. That ain't defamation of character. That's just facts, baby. He put that out there himself.
Yeah, he put it out. He said he touched a 12-year-old girl.
And he told us to get over it. Yeah, man. He tweeted it.
Okay.
He said, yeah, I molested a 12-year-old. Can we move on? No, brother, that ain't.
Oh wow. So
that ain't something.
Peace. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he did say that. Everybody was like,
I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna have him on the show for the HBCU. It was gonna be a whole show about HB versus PWI, and I wanted him on it to get my ratings up.
And I was not gonna be. I was not gonna be on there.
I would have had to.
He said, "I'm not gonna be on there because he was." Ashley said, "I will probably fight him through the screen, bro. Like, I would not be there."
He's a freak. He touch on children. He bisexual, so he probably would have flirted with one of y'all. Y'all really would have been mad. And
oh yeah, he do that.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all would have been turned up.
I don't know what those guys are talking about, man. HBCUs have value, but it's not the whole. I don't know what they're talking about.
Like anti-intellect was like, the ironic thing is you coming home from your PWI to go to your black family or something. He said everybody was like, what?
Yeah, I saw that. That flew over my head. I was like, what is, huh?
What did you say? I don't get it.
Were they supposed to go home to an invisible family? I don't understand.
Well, I'm not going home to a white family, so I would hope I'm going home to my black family. Like, okay.
But yeah, man, I would just, man, HBCUs, man, there's value in it. So if you're tuning in, if you trying to figure out if they're still relevant, or if you're pursuing higher education, go for it, regardless of what institution. Make the best out of it, regardless of your decision.
I'm looking to see if his comments under the video.
True stuff.
No. Oh wait, I see live chat. Okay.
Yeah, tonight was kind of a slow night. Tonight was a slow night. I don't know what was going on, but we're gonna start our promotion a little early next time. To the viewers at home, I do this every other week now. I used to do it every second and fourth Tuesday. I'm going to change that in my bio to every other week because this is not the second Tuesday of the month. This is the first one. Mm-hmm. And so now we're off schedule. We're not going to do that anymore. But to those who are watching, if you don't know my vision, I don't know where Ashton went. Ashton just he just disappeared. But I do this talk show with my panel, of course, just to be an influencer unto the African American culture of and helping them live as kings, live royalty, and also we have a queen up here to inspire women to also live royally as well. I had some announcements for Ashton. He's not on, but he has a GoFundMe account. Even though he just mentioned that he got in touch with somebody about his financial situation at A&T, still go to his page, read his story, and get to the cause, share it. Prayerfully consider doing that because it's now late registration for him. Now he wants to come back for the next semester, so he needs a little something. Even if you got an extra 20. Matter of fact, 5 people. I'm about to do the Black Church thing. I need 5 people to give $5. I need 5 people to give $5.
Every little bit counts. Every little bit counts.
Now, if you go to Starbucks every day, you can go. If you drink Starbucks 4 times a day, You don't have to do it 4 times a day. You can just do it twice a day. That's it. You don't need it 4 times a day. Take the rest of that money that you use and put it to this campaign. I'm just putting it out there. Now, if I was a pastor of a black church, y'all would be killing me on Twitter, so I'm not going to speak no more about the financial thing. But I'm just saying.
Sow a seed. Sow a seed, please.
Just sow the seed. It's a good seed to put. Trust me, the man is good. He is good at what he does. And so see, then we want to respect the host, respect the co-host, and yeah, do that. Second thing, I'll talk about it Thursday. We'll be coming back. I don't know if you have a specific date, but we're in December, so obviously it's coming back in the new year. That's what's going on. Next episode that we have will be December 15th, I believe. We will talk about. I don't think we're going to. But the second one we're going to do, or not the second one, the next topic we're going to do is men and so financial advisor up here and everything like that. We'll see how that works.
Okay, you froze up just now, so I missed it. Men and what?
Okay, everybody freezing up now because I can't hear nothing.
You heard me?
Okay, so what I said was that the next topic is going to be men and money. I'm going to try to up here to talk about men and money, why some of us are good at money, why some of us are bad at money, why the culture, we make up the most of the spending dollars on Black Friday as Black said for the past few days, and they think, you know what, I'm about to go on a rant real quick. Give me a second. So
do it on Twitter so we can go.
the people at home, you told me you lied. One, you lied to me.
What are you talking about?
talking about you lied to me, but I'm talking about Black Friday. So supposedly there was supposed to be another trial. Well, reports came in that Black Friday took a well, the headline on Time read that, but when you read the article, it's why they took it in stores was because online sales went up. So where in the I don't understand. So to those at home who are very fluent and you think that the $1 billion hit was because of African Americans, because I tell you right now, I was out there and there was a lot of African Americans out there. I just want to know like how y'all misread that. So that's my little rant. But we're gonna talk about that money, men, Black culture, all that good stuff on the next episode. Since Ashton's not coming back, Ashton is lights please _ Audrey at Adriana Latrice. She's very formal and professional with hers. Corey is also. You were Southern Belle something.
Yeah, autumn underscores.
We got Corey. He's also very professional with his the Corey Mercer. It is or is it the real Corey Mercer?
The Corey Mercer.
Sure.
The Corey Mercer. Okay, and you know me, the real _ Elliot. And my Instagram is I am King Elliot. Just because I'm fancy like that. To everybody that's been watching, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be better with our promotion so that you. Say what?
You know this. If you all the viewers, if you have not gotten this book, go get it. Go get it. Great book.
Yeah, I gotta get it actually.
About to start reading it. Heard some great reviews about it. So if you haven't got it, go get it. It's a letter. This book is a letter.
I'm currently reading the book.
Talking about the realities and the feelings of being Black in the United States. So It's a great read. Pick it
up. Yeah, I need to pick that up. I'm also currently reading The New Jim Crow as well. It's a very hard read because the chapter 1 is like 3 pages, and I'm like, this is like a textbook. But it's good. It's good stuff so far. But other than that, yep, this 15th, I think it is. We'll be back, and this is it for Royal Manhood TV. Y'all be breezy.